The city lights reflected against the glass walls of the hospital, steady and distant, like nothing inside could ever disturb them. Dr. Anna Lynn stood under the bright operating lights, her hands steady as she adjusted her gloves. The room was already prepared. Monitors hummed softly. Nurses moved with quiet efficiency. "Vitals stable," said Ethan Chen, eyes focused on the screen. Anna gave a small nod. "We'll begin." Across from her, Jason Wu held the medication tray. His posture was straight, his expression careful and respectful. "I checked everything twice," he said. Anna barely glanced at him. "Good." Her attention returned to the patient. A child. Small. Fragile. Every second would matter. Scalpel. The surgery began smoothly. Anna's movements were precise, controlled. Years of experience showed in every motion. There was no hesitation, no wasted effort. This was where she was most certain of herself. Outside of this room, things were different. Just a few hours earlier, the Lin family house had been filled with voices and soft laughter. Porcelain cups touched the table gently as tea was poured. "Our Anna is the most reliable doctor in her department," said Grace Lin with a proud smile. "Everyone respects her." Relatives nodded, impressed. Anna sat quietly, her hands resting in her lap. She smiled when expected, spoke when spoken to. Across the table, David Lin watched her carefully. "You have an important surgery tonight," he said. "Yes," Anna replied. He leaned forward slightly. "Make sure everything goes well. People notice these things." Grace added softly, "Our family's reputation depends on you too." Anna lowered her eyes for a moment. "I understand." The words came easily. They always did. Back in the operating room, everything remained under control until it didn't. Ethan's expression shifted slightly as he looked at the monitor. "Blood pressure is dropping." Anna didn't look up immediately. "Adjust anesthesia." "I'm on it," Jason said quickly. He stepped forward, already reaching for the medication. Too quick. But no one questioned it. Anna's focus stayed on the procedure. "Stabilize it." A few seconds passed. Then the alarm sounded. Sharp. Urgent. Heart rate dropping, a nurse called out. Anna's eyes lifted instantly. What happened? Ethan frowned. "That dosage, something's wrong." Jason's hand froze. I followed the protocol." His voice trembled, just enough. Anna moved faster now. "Correct it. Now." But the numbers continued to fall. The steady rhythm of the monitor became uneven, unstable. The room tightened. "Come on," Ethan muttered under his breath as he adjusted the controls. Anna's hands remained steady, but inside, something felt off, like a step had been missed, something small but critical. "Again," she said. "Try again." No response. Only the sound. A long, continuous tone. Flat. Unforgiving. No one spoke. Anna stared at the monitor, her mind refusing to catch up with what her eyes were seeing. Behind her, someone stepped back. Jason's voice broke the silence, soft and shaking. I tried to warn." No one answered him. Later, the hallway filled with quiet voices that quickly grew louder. Wasn't she supposed to be the best? How could this happen? Inside a small room, Jason sat with his head lowered, shoulders trembling. "She didn't listen," he said, his voice barely holding together. "I told her the dosage seemed wrong." Across from him, hospital staff exchanged looks. No one interrupted. It was simple. A clear story. Easy to accept. Screens across the city began to carry the same headline. Anna's name spread quickly, but not in the way it once had. At home, the silence felt heavier than any noise. Grace stood by the window, her back facing the room. "You should stay inside for now," she said quietly. Anna stepped forward. "Mom, I didn't." Grace's grip on the curtain tightened slightly, but she didn't turn around. At the table, David sat still, his expression hard to read. "Don't speak publicly," he said. "It will only make things worse." Anna looked at him. "You think I made a mistake?" David didn't answer immediately. Then, "What matters now is minimizing damage." The words were calm, practical, and colder than anger. Anna felt something in her chest sink. Not because of the accusation, but because of the absence of belief. Days passed, though they felt blurred and uneven. Her license was suspended. Colleagues stopped calling. Messages went unanswered. The world that once felt solid beneath her feet had quietly disappeared. One night, she stood alone by the window of her apartment, staring at the distant lights of the city. Everything continued as normal. Cars moved. People laughed somewhere far below. Nothing had stopped. Only her. Her eyes slowly closed. The silence around her deepened. Then, Dr. Lin. Her eyes opened sharply. Bright light flooded her vision. The steady beeping of a monitor filled the air. Her hands, still gloved. Her body, standing. Ethan was beside her, looking slightly confused. Dr. Lin. We're ready. Anna's breath caught. She turned her head slowly. Jason stood there, holding the medication tray, looking exactly the same. Calm, careful, perfect. The room, the patient, the moment, everything. Her fingers tightened slightly, her gaze fixed on him, sharper than before. This wasn't memory. This was now. And this time, she was watching. Anna didn't move right away. The sound of the monitor was steady again. Normal. Alive. Her heartbeat, however, was not. Everything was exactly as it had been. The same lights. The same instruments. The same quiet tension before the incision. And him. Jason Wu stood just a step away, holding the medication tray with both hands. His expression was careful, respectful, almost too perfect. Last time, she hadn't looked twice. This time, she didn't look away. Dr. Lin. Ethan Chen said, a hint of confusion in his voice. Are we starting? Anna blinked once, grounding herself. Yes, she said. Her voice was calm, as if nothing had happened. As if she hadn't already lived through what came next. Scalpel. The word came naturally. Her hands moved with the same precision, the same control. Every step unfolded exactly as before, like a scene repeating itself. But Anna was no longer inside the moment. She was watching it. Every detail sharpened. Every second stretched. She didn't rush. Didn't interrupt. Didn't change anything. Yet. Vitals stable, Ethan said. Anna gave a small nod. From the corner of her eye, she saw Jason shift slightly. His fingers adjusted the position of the syringes on the tray. Small movement. Almost unnoticeable. Her gaze lingered. Too neat. Too deliberate. Minutes passed. The procedure continued smoothly. Then, Ethan's voice again, just like before. Blood pressure is dropping. There it was. The moment. Anna didn't look at him this time. She looked at Jason. I'll handle it, Jason said quickly, already stepping forward. Exactly the same. Too fast. Anna didn't stop him. Not yet. Her hands continued working, but her attention split half on the patient, half on Jason's every movement. He reached for the medication. His hand hovered for just a fraction of a second. Then, he switched it. Subtle. Clean. Practiced. If she hadn't seen it before, she might have missed it again. Anna's eyes narrowed slightly. There was no panic inside her this time. Only clarity. Ethan glanced at the monitor. Adjusting now? Jason nodded quickly. Yes. He administered it. Seconds passed. Too quiet. Then the alarm rang. Sharp. Urgent. Heart rate dropping. The same chaos began to form. But this time, Anna moved first. Stop. Her voice cut through the room. Not loud, but absolute. Jason froze. Everyone did. Anna lifted her gaze slowly, locking onto him. What did you just administer? Jason blinked, clearly caught off guard. The prescribed dosage. No, Anna said calmly. You didn't. A flicker crossed his face. Gone almost instantly. Ethan looked between them. Dr. Lin. Anna stepped forward, her gloved hand extending slightly toward the tray. That's not the original medication, she said. The room fell into a strange, heavy silence. Jason shook his head quickly. There must be a misunderstanding. Then explain it, Anna said, her tone still even. No anger. No panic. And that made it worse. Jason's breathing became uneven. I followed the protocol. You changed the drug. This time, her voice carried just enough weight to make everyone listen. Ethan's expression shifted. Changed? What? Anna didn't look away from Jason. Check the vial. A nurse quickly picked it up, her hands trembling slightly. She read the label. Then froze. This isn't what was logged. Ethan turned sharply. What? The monitor continued its warning rhythm in the background. Time was running. Anna stepped in without hesitation. Revert to the original dosage. Now. Ethan reacted instantly, correcting the medication. Seconds passed. Long. Heavy. Then. The monitor began to stabilize. The sharp alarm softened. The numbers climbed back. Life returned. A quiet breath moved through the room. But no one relaxed. Because now, everyone was looking at Jason. He stood there, frozen, his earlier composure cracking. I must have taken the wrong one by accident, he said, his voice unsteady. Anna tilted her head slightly, studying him. Accident, she repeated. Jason nodded quickly. Yes, there were multiple vials, I must have. You checked everything twice, Anna said. His words. Given back to him. Jason went silent. No answer came. Anna turned slightly. Pull the medication logs. And the cabinet access records. A nurse hesitated. Right now? Yes, Anna said. No hesitation. No room for delay. The nurse hurried out. Jason's voice came again, weaker this time. Doctor, we should focus on the surgery. We are, Anna replied. Her eyes returned to him. Steady. Unblinking. Because this, she said quietly, is part of it. Jason swallowed hard. For the first time. He looked afraid. Not the soft, trembling fear he showed others. But something sharper. Something real. Anna turned back to the patient, her hands moving with renewed precision. Continue, she said. The operation resumed. But the air had changed. Every movement now carried awareness. Every glance carried suspicion. And behind them, the truth had already begun to surface. Anna didn't need to rush anymore. This time. She was ahead. And she wasn't going to lose control again. The surgery ended without further complications. The final stitch was placed. The monitors were stable. The child was alive. No one spoke for a moment. Then the quiet shift began, gloves removed, instruments counted, nurses moving again. But the air in the operating room hadn't returned to normal. It couldn't. Because everyone remembered what had just happened. Anna stepped back, removing her gloves slowly. Her gaze didn't move toward the patient. It stayed on Jason Wu. He avoided looking at anyone. I'll clean up the tray, he said quickly, already turning. Leave it. Anna's voice stopped him mid-step. He froze. A nurse standing nearby hesitated, unsure who to listen to. Anna walked over, her movements unhurried. She looked down at the tray, then at Jason. Don't touch anything, she said. Jason forced a small, uneasy smile. Dr. Lin, I already explained it was a mistake. You can explain again, Anna said calmly. When the records arrive. Silence followed. From the other side of the room, Ethan Chen removed his mask, his eyes narrowing slightly as he studied Jason. You said you checked everything twice, Ethan said. Jason's throat tightened. I did. There were multiple vials. Ethan glanced at the tray. We don't keep similar labels side by side. Not in this room. That landed harder than anything Anna had said. Jason didn't answer. The door opened. A nurse stepped in, slightly out of breath, holding a tablet. Dr. Lin, the logs. Every eye turned. Anna didn't take it right away. Read it. The nurse swallowed. Medication cabinet accessed at 09:12, authorization code. She hesitated. Anna's voice remained steady. Continue. Jason Wu. The room fell completely still. Jason shook his head immediately. That doesn't prove anything. Someone could have used my code. Then we check the cameras, Anna said. Simple. Direct. Unavoidable. Jason's composure cracked for a second. Doctor, is this really necessary? The patient is stable. That's why we have time, Anna replied. No anger. No raised voice. Just certainty. Ethan crossed his arms slightly. I agree. We should review everything. Now Jason had nowhere to look. The nurse holding the tablet lowered her eyes, stepping back. The room had already chosen a direction. Anna turned away first. Finish post-op procedures. The team moved again, but differently now. More careful. More aware. Jason stood there a second longer before slowly stepping back. For the first time. He was no longer the center of quiet admiration. Outside, the hallway felt colder. Whispers started almost immediately. What happened in there? I heard something about a medication issue. Jason walked past them, head lowered, his usual polite image replaced by something uncertain. At the far end, Anna stood alone, looking at the window. City lights reflected faintly in the glass. She didn't turn when Ethan approached. That wasn't a small accusation, he said. I know. You're certain? Anna finally looked at him. Yes. Ethan studied her face, searching for hesitation. There was none. Then I'll back you, he said after a pause. Anna blinked slightly, caught off guard. Why? She asked. Ethan gave a small shrug. Because something felt wrong. Even before you said it. A quiet moment passed. Thank you, Anna said. It was simple. But genuine. At home, everything looked the same. The lights were warm. Dinner was already set. Anna, you're late, said Gracelyn, placing a dish on the table. How did the surgery go? Anna paused briefly before answering. It was successful. Grace smiled with relief. I knew it. You never disappoint. Across the table, David Lynn glanced up. Good. That case was important. Anna sat down quietly. Same words. Same reactions. But they felt different now. There was an issue during surgery, Anna added. Grace's smile faded slightly. What kind of issue? A medication error, Anna said. David's expression sharpened. Whose? Anna met his eyes. The intern. A brief silence fell. Grace frowned. Then it's handled, right? These things happen. David nodded. As long as it doesn't affect you. Anna didn't respond immediately. Last time, those words had comforted her. Now. They felt empty. It might become an investigation, she said. Grace's hand paused mid-air. Investigation? David leaned forward. Anna, think carefully. Getting involved in that could complicate things. Anna's voice stayed calm. It already has. Grace's brows drew together. Can't the hospital handle it quietly? There it was. Not concern for the truth. Concern for peace. For appearance. Anna lowered her gaze slightly, then said, if it's ignored, it will happen again. Neither of them answered right away. David sighed softly. You're overthinking. Don't turn this into something bigger than it is. Anna looked up at him. This time. She didn't back down. It already is. The table fell silent. Grace exchanged a glance with David, something unspoken passing between them. Anna saw it clearly now. The hesitation. The distance. The quiet choice. To stay comfortable instead of facing something difficult. Later that night, Anna stood by her window again. The same city. The same lights. But everything had shifted. This time, the child was alive. This time, the truth hadn't been buried. But it wasn't over. Not even close. Behind her, her phone buzzed. A message. Unknown number. She picked it up slowly. Stop digging. You don't know what you're getting into. Anna stared at the screen. No fear. Only a quiet understanding. She typed a reply. I already do. She set the phone down. Her reflection in the glass looked different now. Not broken. Not lost. Focused. This wasn't just about correcting one mistake. It was about everything that came after. And this time, she wasn't alone. But she also knew something else. The person who had sent that message was afraid. Which meant she was getting closer. The hospital felt quieter the next morning, but not in a peaceful way. It was the kind of quiet that carried whispers. As Anna walked down the corridor, conversations paused. A few people greeted her politely, but their eyes lingered just a second too long. News traveled fast. Not outside, not yet. But inside, everyone knew something had happened in that operating room. At the nurse's station, Lily Zhao stood reviewing patient charts. When she noticed Anna approaching, her posture stiffened slightly. "Good morning, Dr. Lin," she said. "Good morning," Anna replied. She didn't stop walking at first. Then she did. "Lily." Lily looked up again, a hint of tension in her eyes. "Yes." Anna studied her quietly. "You were assisting yesterday." "Yes." "You saw everything." It wasn't a question. Lily's fingers tightened around the file she was holding. I followed instructions." Anna stepped a little closer, lowering her voice. "Did you notice anything unusual?" A pause. Too long. "I don't think so," Lily said quickly, avoiding eye contact. Anna didn't push further. "Not here. Not like this." "All right," she said softly, then turned and walked away. Behind her, Lily exhaled shakily. In a conference room upstairs, a small meeting had already begun. Hospital administrators sat around the table, their expressions carefully neutral. Anna sat on one side. Across from her, Jason Wu. He looked pale, but composed. His usual calm had returned, at least on the surface. "This is an internal review," one of the administrators said. "We want to clarify what happened during yesterday's procedure." Jason nodded slightly. "Of course." Anna said nothing. "Dr. Lin has raised concerns about a medication change," the administrator continued. "Jason, can you explain your actions?" Jason took a breath, steadying himself. "I followed the protocol as I understood it," he said. "There were multiple vials prepared. In the moment, I selected the wrong one. Simple. Clean. Believable." Anna watched him closely. No hesitation. No cracks. "And the access logs?" another administrator asked. Jason's gaze lowered briefly. "I accessed the cabinet earlier to prepare. That part is correct." "So you admit the error?" Jason nodded. "Yes. It was my mistake." The room shifted slightly. An admission. But a careful one. Anna finally spoke. "It wasn't a mistake." Jason looked up at her, eyes steady. "Dr. Lin, I understand why you're concerned, but you switched it deliberately." The words landed clearly. The administrators exchanged glances. "Dr. Lin," one of them said, "that is a serious accusation." "I'm aware," Anna replied calmly. Jason's expression tightened just a fraction. "Why would I do that?" Anna held his gaze. "That's what I intend to find out." Silence followed. One administrator cleared his throat. "At this point, we have no evidence of intent. Only a confirmed error." There it was. The line they were choosing. Safe. Controlled. Contained. "We recommend handling this as a procedural mistake," he continued. "Jason will receive a formal warning. Additional training will be assigned." Anna didn't react immediately. Then, quietly, "And if it happens again?" No one answered. Because no one wanted to consider it. Outside the room, Jason caught up with her. "Dr. Lin." Anna stopped but didn't turn right away. When she did, his expression was polite again. "Careful. I've already admitted my mistake," he said. "There's no need to escalate this further." Anna looked at him steadily. "You're worried." A flicker crossed his face. Gone almost instantly. "I'm concerned about unnecessary conflict," he corrected. Anna took a step closer. "You're concerned about being exposed." Jason's jaw tightened. "You're misunderstanding me." Am I? For a brief second, neither of them spoke. Then Jason smiled faintly. Even if you believe that, you can't prove it. There it was. Not denial. Confidence. Anna didn't respond. She simply walked past him. Later that day, Ethan found her in an empty consultation room. They're closing it as an error, he said. I expected that. Ethan leaned against the desk. You're not letting it go. No. He studied her for a moment. Then you'll need more than suspicion. I know. A pause. Then Anna said quietly, Lily knows something. Ethan frowned. The nurse. Anna nodded. She saw it. I'm sure of it. Then why didn't she say anything? Anna looked down briefly. Fear, she said. That evening, the Lynn house felt tense. Grace placed dishes on the table, but her usual warmth was missing. I heard there was an issue at the hospital, she said carefully. Anna sat down. Yes. David looked up immediately. What kind of issue? Anna didn't avoid it. I reported a possible deliberate mistake. Grace's hand froze. Deliberate. David's expression hardened. Anna, what are you doing? Trying to prevent something worse, she replied. David shook his head. You're turning a small problem into a big one. It's not small. It is if you handle it properly, he said firmly. The hospital already made a decision, right? Then let it end there. Grace added softly, we don't want trouble again. Again. That word lingered. Anna looked at them both. In her first life, she had listened. Stayed quiet. Trusted that things would settle. And lost everything. This isn't about trouble, she said. It's about truth. David's voice sharpened. Truth doesn't matter if it destroys everything around it. Anna met his gaze. This time. She didn't look away. Then maybe what's around it isn't worth protecting. The room went silent. Grace stared at her, stunned. David's expression darkened. You're being reckless. Anna stood up slowly. No, she said. I'm being careful. With that, she turned and walked away. Later that night, Lily stood alone in a dim hallway at the hospital. Her hands trembled slightly as she stared at her phone. A message sat on the screen. Stay quiet. It's better for everyone. She knew who it was from. She didn't need a name. Her breathing grew uneven. Then, another message appeared. Different sender. Anna. You're not alone this time. Lily's eyes widened slightly. She looked up, as if expecting someone to be watching. The hallway was empty. But the weight in her chest shifted. Just a little. For the first time. Silence didn't feel like the only option. Back in her apartment, Anna stood by the window once more. But tonight, she wasn't looking at the city. She was thinking. Jason was confident. The hospital was avoiding the truth. Her family wanted peace. Everything was aligning the same way it had before. But one thing had changed. She picked up her phone and opened a new message. To Ethan. We need to look deeper. This isn't his first time. She pressed send. Outside, the city lights flickered quietly. Unaware. But something beneath the surface had already begun to shift. And this time, it wouldn't stay hidden. The hospital corridors felt tighter now, as if every wall had moved a little closer. Anna walked with steady steps, but she could feel it eyes following, voices lowering as she passed. The internal review had ended, but the tension hadn't. If anything, it had grown. Inside a small records room, files were stacked neatly, untouched by the quiet storm outside. Anna stood by the desk, flipping through printed logs. Footsteps approached. You really meant it. She didn't need to look up to know it was Ethan Chen. I always do, Anna replied. Ethan stepped closer, glancing at the papers. What are you looking for? A pattern. He raised an eyebrow. You think this wasn't the first time? Anna placed one file down and pulled another. He was too precise. Or too lucky. Ethan said. Anna shook her head slightly. No one is that calm in a real mistake. She turned a page and stopped. There. A previous case. Unremarkable at first glance. But the notes. A small complication. Unexplained. Quickly dismissed. Look at this, she said. Ethan leaned in, scanning. Minor reaction during anesthesia, resolved. Resolved, Anna repeated quietly. But no clear cause. Ethan frowned. You think he was involved? Anna didn't answer right away. But her silence said enough. Across the hospital, in a quiet corner near the stairwell, Lily Zhao stood with her arms wrapped around herself. Her eyes kept moving, checking who passed by. She hadn't slept well. Not after the messages. Not after what she almost said. Footsteps approached. She stiffened. It was Jason. Jason Wu stopped a few feet away, his expression calm as always. You look tired, he said. Lily forced a small smile. Just busy. Jason nodded slowly. You've always been reliable. The words sounded like praise. But they didn't feel like it. I heard Dr. Lin spoke to you, he added. Lily's fingers tightened slightly. She just asked about the surgery. And you told her the truth, Jason said. It wasn't a question. Lily swallowed. Of course. A brief silence. Then Jason stepped a little closer, lowering his voice. Good. The single word carried weight. Not approval. A warning. Because misunderstandings can hurt a lot of people, he continued gently. Careers. Families. Lily's breath caught. Jason smiled faintly, stepping back. Get some rest. Then he walked away. Lily stood frozen. Her heart was racing now. At the Lin house, dinner sat untouched. Grace paced slowly, her expression tense. This is getting out of hand, she said. David sat at the table, his jaw tight. I told her not to push it. She never used to be like this, Grace added. She was always careful. David didn't respond immediately. Then, quietly, she's changing. The door opened. Anna stepped inside. Both of them turned to look at her. Grace spoke first. Anna, we need to talk. Anna set her bag down calmly. I know. David stood up. The hospital called. They said you're still pursuing that intern. Anna met his gaze. Yes. Why? He demanded. It's already been resolved. No, it hasn't. Grace stepped closer. Anna, please. Think about what this could do to us. There it was again. Us. Anna looked at her mother. When did us stop including me? She asked quietly. Grace froze. That's not what I meant. You want this to disappear, Anna continued. Even if it's not over. David's voice hardened. Because we understand consequences. Anna turned to him. So do I. Then act like it, he shot back. You're risking everything for something you can't prove. Anna held his gaze steadily. I can prove it, she said. The certainty in her voice made both of them pause. Back at the hospital, night had fallen. The corridors were quieter now, the tension settling into something heavier. Anna stood outside a supply room. Inside, Lily was alone. Anna knocked lightly, then stepped in. Lily looked up immediately, startled. Dr. Lin. Anna closed the door behind her. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Anna said gently, he spoke to you. Lily's expression shifted. Fear. Clear and undeniable. I don't know what you mean, she said quickly. Anna didn't move closer. Didn't pressure her. He warned you, she said. Silence. Lily's eyes filled slightly, but she blinked it back. I can't say anything, she whispered. I'll lose my job, everything. Anna nodded slowly. I know. Lily looked at her, surprised. In my place, Anna continued softly, you think staying quiet is safer. Lily's voice trembled. Isn't it? Anna didn't answer immediately. Then. No. The word was quiet. But firm. Because silence doesn't protect you, Anna said. It only delays what happens. Lily's breathing became uneven. I've seen what happens when no one speaks, Anna added. Her voice carried something deeper now. Something Lily couldn't fully understand. But could feel. This won't stop with one case, Anna said. Next time, it could be worse. A tear slipped down Lily's cheek. I'm scared, she admitted. Anna stepped closer now. Not forceful. Just present. So am I, she said. Lily looked up at her, startled. But I'm still doing it, Anna continued. And you won't be alone. The room fell quiet. The fear was still there. But something else had appeared beside it. A choice. Later, in a dark office, Jason sat alone. A file lay open in front of him. Anna's name printed clearly on the cover. His expression was no longer soft. No longer careful. It was sharp. Focused. She's different this time, he murmured to himself. His fingers tapped lightly against the desk. Thinking. Calculating. Then slowly. He smiled. Not the polite one everyone saw. Something colder. If she wants the truth, he said quietly, then let's see how much she can handle. In her apartment, Anna sat in silence, her phone resting in her hand. A new message appeared. Unknown number. You should have stopped when you had the chance. Anna read it once. Then again. Her expression didn't change. She typed a reply. I never had that chance before. She sent it. Then set the phone aside. Her gaze lifted slightly, steady and clear. This wasn't just about proving him wrong anymore. It was about stopping him completely. And this time, she wasn't walking into it blindly. The hospital auditorium felt colder than usual. Rows of chairs were filled, doctors, nurses, administrators. Quiet conversations moved like a low current through the room, but no one spoke too loudly. At the front, a long table had been prepared. A formal inquiry. Anna stood just outside the doors for a moment before walking in. Her steps were steady, but she could feel the weight of every gaze as she passed. Some curious. Some doubtful. Some already decided. At the center table sat the review panel. To one side, Jason Wu. He looked composed again. Calm. Controlled. The same image he had always shown everyone. On the other side, Anna took her seat. A few chairs behind her, Ethan Chen sat quietly. Further back, Lily Zhao. Her hands were clasped tightly together. The panel began. This inquiry will review the events during the pediatric surgery and subsequent concerns raised, one of the administrators announced. Jason was asked to speak first. He stood, adjusting his sleeve slightly. I want to begin by taking responsibility, he said, voice steady but soft. I made an error in selecting the medication. A pause. I deeply regret it. Murmurs moved through the room. Honest. Humble. Convincing. But, he continued, lowering his gaze, I also feel I've been unfairly accused of intentional harm. His eyes lifted, just enough. I respect Dr. Lin. I've learned a lot from her. I don't understand why she believes I would do something like that. A subtle shift. Now. He was the one being wronged. The room responded quietly. Sympathy was easier than suspicion. Anna watched him without expression. The panel turned to her. Dr. Lin. She stood. No hesitation. No one denies he accessed the medication cabinet, she said. No one denies he used the wrong drug. She paused briefly. The question is whether it was intentional. And you believe it was? A panel member asked. Yes. Based on what evidence? Anna didn't answer immediately. Instead, she turned slightly. Call Lily Zhao. A ripple moved through the room. Lily froze in her seat. For a second. She didn't move. Jason's gaze flickered toward her. Sharp. Warning. Lily felt it immediately. Her chest tightened. Her breathing grew shallow. Miss Zhao, the panel repeated. Slowly, Lily stood. Her legs felt heavy as she walked forward. Each step louder than it should have been. She reached the front. Stopped. Her eyes lowered. Tell us what you observed, the panel said gently. Silence. Too long. Jason spoke softly, just loud enough. It's okay. Just say what you saw. His tone was reassuring. Careful. But Lily heard something else beneath it. A reminder. Her hands trembled. She started. Her voice shook. She glanced up. At Anna. Anna didn't speak. Didn't pressure her. Just watched. Steady. Calm. Not asking. Not forcing. Just there. You're not alone this time. The words echoed in Lily's mind. Her breathing steadied slightly. I saw. She tried again. Jason's gaze sharpened. Lily clenched her hands. I saw him switch it. The room went completely still. No whispers. No movement. Just silence. Jason's expression didn't change immediately. Then, a small crack. That's not true, he said quickly. You must have misunderstood. I didn't, Lily said, her voice still shaking, but clearer now. I saw you change the vial. Jason shook his head. Why would you say that? Lily's eyes filled with tears, but she didn't look away this time. Because it's the truth. The weight of her words settled heavily across the room. The panel exchanged looks. Do we have supporting evidence? One asked. Anna stepped forward slightly. Yes. She placed a tablet on the table. Security footage from the medication room. A screen behind them flickered to life. The video played. Jason entering. Looking around. Opening the cabinet. Switching the vial. Clear. Undeniable. No explanation left. The room reacted this time, low voices, disbelief, shock. Jason stood frozen. For the first time. He had no control. That doesn't prove intent, he said, but his voice had lost its strength. I could have been preparing. Anna finished calmly. Jason didn't answer. Because even he knew. It wasn't enough. Anna stepped closer. You weren't confused, she said. You were careful. Jason's composure finally broke. Why? Someone from the panel asked. The question hung in the air. Jason laughed suddenly. Short. Sharp. Not polite anymore. Why? He repeated. His eyes lifted, no longer hiding anything. Because no one notices people like me, he said. The room fell silent again. They only see people like her, he continued, glancing at Anna. Perfect. Untouchable. His voice hardened. I worked just as hard. Maybe harder. But in the end, she gets everything. Anna didn't react. Jason's expression twisted slightly. I just needed one moment, he said quietly. One mistake from her, and everything changes. The truth. Ugly. Clear. Final. At the back of the room, the doors opened quietly. David Lynn and Grace Lynn stepped in. They had heard enough. Their faces pale. Stunned. They hadn't believed her. Not fully. Now. They saw it. The panel spoke again, voices firm this time. This matter will be escalated immediately. Jason didn't resist. Didn't argue. He simply sat down. Empty. The image he built. Gone. Outside, the air felt different. Lighter. But not simple. Lily stood near the steps, still shaking slightly. Anna approached her. You did well, she said. Lily shook her head. I was scared the whole time. Anna gave a small nod. That doesn't mean you weren't brave. Lily looked at her, eyes still wet. Thank you, she whispered. Anna didn't respond. But her expression softened slightly. A few steps away, David and Grace stood waiting. Uncertain. When Anna approached, neither of them spoke immediately. Then Grace stepped forward. She began, her voice unsteady. I didn't know. Anna looked at her quietly. David exhaled slowly. We thought it would pass. Like before. Anna's gaze held his. This is what before looked like, she said. Neither of them had an answer. Because now. They understood. And understanding came too late to be easy. That night, Anna stood by her window again. But this time. There was no heaviness in the silence. Only stillness. Her phone buzzed. A message from Ethan. It's over. Anna looked at the screen. Then slowly typed back. No. She set the phone down. Her reflection stared back at her. Calm. Clear. Because this wasn't just about exposing Jason. It was about everything that came after. And that was just beginning. The hospital felt different in the days that followed. Not louder. Not quieter. Just, aware. People no longer whispered when Anna passed. They looked at her directly now. Some with respect, some with discomfort, some with something in between. Truth had a way of changing the air. But it didn't fix everything. Inside a meeting room, final decisions were being discussed. Administrative voices, legal terms, formal procedures. Jason Wu sat at the far end, silent. There was no trace of the perfect intern anymore. No careful tone. No polite smile. Just someone exposed. The outcome was clear. His license application would be revoked. The case would move forward legally. When it ended, Jason stood up slowly. For a moment, it seemed like he might say something. Instead, he glanced once toward the door. Where Anna stood. Their eyes met briefly. No anger. No apology. Just a quiet acknowledgement. Then he walked past her. And this time, no one stopped him. Anna didn't follow. She remained where she was, watching the empty space he left behind. It was finished. At least, that part of it. But the feeling wasn't victory. It was something quieter. Heavier. Because endings like this didn't undo what had already happened. They only prevented it from happening again. Later that evening, Anna returned home. The door opened to a familiar silence. But it wasn't the same silence as before. Grace Lynn stood in the living room, as if she had been waiting. Anna, she said softly. Anna stepped inside, setting her bag down. Grace hesitated, then walked closer. I made your favorite soup, she said, almost awkwardly. Anna nodded once. Thank you. Neither of them moved right away. There were too many things unsaid. Finally, Grace spoke again, her voice unsteady. I thought, if we just stayed quiet, things would be okay. Anna looked at her. I was wrong. The words came slowly, as if they were difficult to admit. I was afraid, Grace continued. Afraid of what people would say. Afraid of losing everything we built. Anna's gaze softened slightly. And me? She asked quietly. Grace's eyes filled. I didn't realize I was losing you, she said. Silence followed. Not heavy. Not cold. Just honest. Anna didn't respond immediately. But she didn't turn away either. At the dining table, David Lynn sat waiting. When Anna walked in, he stood up. For once. He didn't speak right away. I heard the final decision, he said finally. Anna nodded. It's done. David exhaled slowly. I was wrong too. The admission was simple. But from him. It meant something. I thought protecting the family meant avoiding trouble, he said. I didn't see that I was asking you to carry it alone. Anna met his eyes. You were, she said. David gave a small, bitter smile. I know. Another pause. Then he added, quieter, you shouldn't have had to fight like that. Anna didn't disagree. But she also didn't dwell on it. It's over now, she said. David shook his head slightly. Not for you. Anna understood what he meant. Things didn't return to normal after something like this. They changed. Permanently. Back at the hospital, Anna stood outside an operating room. The familiar doors. The same bright lights beyond them. For a moment, she didn't move. Memories lingered here. Two versions of the same moment. Two completely different outcomes. Thinking about going back in? Anna turned slightly. Ethan Chen stood beside her. Something like that, she replied. Ethan leaned against the wall. You don't have to rush. I know. You've already proven what you needed to. Anna looked at the doors again. That wasn't why I did it. Ethan studied her. Then nodded. I figured. A small silence passed. Then he added, the department wants you back on full schedule. Anna let out a quiet breath. Before, that would have been everything. Now, it was just a choice. Down the hallway, Lily Zhao approached slowly. She stopped when she saw Anna. For a moment, she looked unsure. Then she walked over. I heard you're returning to surgery, Lily said. Maybe, Anna replied. Lily smiled faintly. I'm glad. Anna looked at her. How are you? Lily hesitated, then said honestly, still nervous. Anna nodded. That doesn't go away quickly. Lily let out a small laugh. I guess not. Then, more seriously, but I don't regret speaking up. Anna's expression softened. That matters more. Lily nodded. And for the first time, she looked lighter. Later, Anna stood alone again by the window in her apartment. The city stretched out before her, unchanged. But she wasn't the same person looking at it. Her phone rested on the table. No threatening messages. No warnings. Just quiet. She thought about everything. The surgery. The truth. Her family. Herself. In her first life, everything had been taken from her. Her career. Her voice. Her place. In this life, she had taken something back. Not just justice. Choice. She turned away from the window. Her steps steady. Clear. The next morning, the operating room doors opened. Anna walked in. The team prepared around her. The same environment. The same pressure. But this time, there was no weight pressing down on her. No need to prove anything. No fear of being unseen. Dr. Lin. Ethan's voice came again. Anna stepped into position. Yes, she said. Her hands moved with quiet confidence. Let's begin. And this time, she wasn't just saving a patient. She was standing exactly where she chose to be.